In this video, we'll take a quick look at some of the options for saving and finalizing your Word documents. So most of these options are under File and then Info, and you can see a whole lot of different things. On the right hand side you can see all the properties, such as who's worked on the document, how long it's been edited for, and so on and so forth. If you click on Show All Properties, it even shows a bit more information. You can also see here that it's saved in compatibility mode, meaning it was saved in an older version of Word, so we need to convert it if we wanted to use some of the newer features in the current version of Word. But in this case I want to inspect the document to see what personal information it contains, and as you can see there's already 4 people's names, and if I was sharing this document I possibly would not want that information shared with the document. So we're going to click on Check for Issues, Inspect Document, and we can see here we can hide or remove comments and various other options here as well. And then I'm going to click on Inspect, and it will tell us that there's document properties, authors, and related people in there, but everything else is fine. So I could remove all the people there, reinspect, and nothing there. So now all the authors, people's names, etc. are all gone, which is perhaps better, especially if I was sharing this with complete strangers. So that's a quick look at inspecting your documents. This document we're going to check for accessibility and compatibility. So I'm going to go again to File and Info, and I'm going to go to again Check for Issues, and this time I'm going to check accessibility. And now it brings up the accessibility pane, and I can see here there's 2 images with missing alternative text and some images or objects that are not in line. So we can right click on these images and edit the alt text there and literally just type in what it is, or it does generate a description, though you might want to make it a bit more descriptive since that's not very specific there. The inline or not inline error that it's giving us is because screen readers can't read in what they call floating images like this one. So the suggestion is to use the inline with text option for maximum accessibility. So that's something to keep in mind as well, especially if you are considering accessibility already. You want to make it as accessible as possible. Then we can go into File and go to Info and then check compatibility, and this will look at compatibility for older versions and so on. So you can see here the citations and bibliographies will be converted to static text, which is reasonable. So it's obviously a newer feature, but that's something to consider. And so you should probably always have 2 versions of your document. If we go Save As, we can save it as an older version of the document. Down here, Word 97 to 2003 document with the old .doc extension. So if you need to save it and send it to someone with a very old, much older version of Word, that's what you can do there. But obviously there will be the potential for compatibility issues. Here it's again reminding us that those citations and bibliographies will be converted to static text, and that's not the end of the world in this case, but that's something to consider. Now it says compatibility mode at the top there. If you want to share or save your document somewhere else, under File you've got various options. These options might vary depending on the version of Word you're using, but we've always got this Save As option, which you can select your computer or OneDrive. You can use the Share option, especially useful if you want to email it directly from Word. And there's also Export, where you can change the file type as you could in the Save As option. You might want to create a PDF and so on. So those options are always there. They might just be in a slightly different place, but yeah, pretty easy to share your document with other people.